It was just 4 weeks ago that President Macron called this snap election after the far right made some huge win in the national vote here in the European election. And he called it dissolved the National Assembly where we're standing this evening. And he said, look, it was a moment for clarification in the politics of France. And clarification, we did get one. France rejected the far right once again. And it was a shock result, actually a surprise result, because not only the far right didn't come first in this election, but they came third. And as you were saying, the top group, the left-wing bloc, came in the lead in the second round of the parliamentary election. President Macron's group came second, so they have lost some seats, but they still came second in this run. And now the far right came at around 140 seats, so they have made big gains, but they are very far from the all magic number of 289 seats to have the absolute majority. So that is the question now. No bloc can reach the absolute majority, so we'll have to wait and see what that means. But certainly what we heard from Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who is the leader of La France Insoumise, one of the parties in the left-wing bloc, speaking just after the exit poll, saying that his party should be forming the government.
The
President has the power. The President has the duty to call on the new Popular Front to govern. It is ready. The new Popular Front will respect the mandate according to the votes cast for its candidates. Our given word will be respected. The new Popular Front will apply its manifesto. All its manifesto and nothing but its manifesto.
Now, Gabriel Attal, the current Prime Minister, who is part of President Macron's camp, said that France will have to do politics in a different way going forward.
A new era also starts for the values that our candidates represented. We will need to invent something new, something great, something useful. To do so, we have to not be afraid of anything in question. From tomorrow, our political space should get to work to build a new political offer, to think always and above all of the French, of their lives, and to personify hope for them once again.
Now, Prime Minister Attal also said that he will present his resignation to President Macron tomorrow morning, but that he's ready to stay on in the job for as long as necessary, in particular because of some big challenges for the country, that the Olympics starting in just 3 weeks. So when negotiations happen, he will stay in the job. Now, Marine Le Pen, the far-right leader, said that the victory of her party is only delayed. Of course, all eyes now on 2027, the next presidential election, what that could mean, this result for the next big election that will be in just 3 years. But at the moment, what it looks like is that there will be a lot of uncertainty in the week coming, Sri.
Charlotte, this raises a few questions. Primarily, this hastily cobbled together leftist alliance, can it stay united? And if we are looking at a hung parliament, then how long of a policy vacuum, a legislative vacuum, are we looking at in France?
Well, that's really a really good question, because the left-wing bloc have had their own tensions. They had the bloc together in the 22 election, and they had some big divisions because they have very different views in many things, like European policies, etc. So the question, can they hold together? But can they make an alliance as well? And now they're bringing the big word that is coalition. Can there be a coalition made by centrist parties? It is not in the French political tradition at all, unlike countries like Germany, where it's been happening again and again. It hasn't happened here. So we are in uncharted territory. So that's why all the parties now will maybe start some talks. Some parties, like Jean-Luc Mélenchon's party that we just heard of a little bit earlier, said he will not negotiate at all with Macron's party. Some other parties might. So we'll have to wait and see in the coming weeks what that means. But certainly what we know is that a hung parliament for the markets, for many guests that we've spoken to in the recent weeks, they said a hung parliament is the least bad option for the market, because a far right, a far left victory or outright victory would have been bad news. So the question is, hung parliament, okay, least bad news, but certainly means a parliament that won't be able to take big measures on budget and on reforms. And we know that France is at 110% of GDP, and there's something that needs to be addressed very soon.